All right, so moving on to the final segment. Which fighter is under the most pressure to succeed come July 29th in the sport of boxing when the biggest fight of the year happens between Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford? Which fighter needs this fight more to add to their legacy? Who needs this win more? And who's under the most pressure and who needs this win more? To me, my answer is Terence Crawford. I think he needs to win more than what Errol Spence Jr. needs. Errol Spence Jr. is not going to be affected much if he loses this fight. Yes, it's going to hurt him to have that 0 taken away on his resume, but at the end of the day, he's still going to be one of the biggest draws in boxing. He's still going to be one of Al Heyman's guys. He's still going to have the clout of Leonard Ellerbe. He's still going to be one of the PBC's biggest fighters that they have to offer. It's going to hurt him to lose that 0, but it's not going to hurt more than what potentially Terence Crawford could lose if he loses that 0. I think it could affect him more. And Terence Crawford is already the favorite to win this fight. He's already the favorite heading into the fight. And realistically, if he could win this fight against Errol Spence Jr., it would solidify him as the best boxer that the sport of boxing has seen since Floyd Mayweather retired back in 2017. So Terence Crawford is already 39-0. He needs this win more than Errol Spence. He would improve his record to 40-0. And he has the chance to become the first ever undisputed welterweight champion in the 4-belt era of boxing. And he could become the first ever male boxing talent to become an undisputed champion in 2 separate weight divisions in the sport of boxing. So there's a lot on the line for Terence Crawford, doing something that so many all-time greats has never accomplished. You have the chance to do it come July 29th against Errol Spence Jr. And you have the chance to solidify yourself as one of the greatest to ever do it if you're successful. And your resume will speak highly. It will speak volumes to anything that anybody else has accomplished, because you'll be the only male superstar in boxing history to say, I was a 4-belt champion at one division, and I was a 4-belt champion in another division, and did it being undefeated. So the stakes can be higher for Terence Crawford to deliver a win against Errol Spence Jr. There's a total of 5 titles on the line when they fight July 29th. The WBC title, WBO title, WBA title, the IBF title, and the coveted Ring Magazine title, which again, the Ring Magazine title goes to the fighter that has beaten the best guy that there is to beat in that Pacific weight class. So there's a lot on the line, a total of 5 titles. He needs this win in terms of legacy more than Errol Spence Jr. And this is going to be the biggest fight of combat sports in the calendar year 2023. On paper, there's no argument. 4 championships on the line against two undefeated guys. They're as technical as anybody in the sport of boxing. They have the knockout power. They have the abilities to go 12 rounds and give us an instant classic. There's no way that any fight in the world is bigger than what we're going to get July 29th. In boxing and in UFC, there's nothing that's going to be bigger than what we're going to see. And this is a fight that I hopefully get to tell my grandkids one day, of terms of biggest fights in boxing history, when I got to witness Terence Crawford and Errol Spence officially fight each other for the first time. And hopefully we see this for a second time, because we can see it, and because there's a rematch clause that the loser can activate in a matter of 30 days. So hopefully I get to tell my grandkids I got to sit down and see this fight. And this is the biggest fight that the sport of boxing is going to see since Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao fought each other back in 2015. And this fight between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is this generation's Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. It's this generation's Marvin Hagler versus Tommy Hearns. It's this current generation's Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns. It's this current generation of Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson as like a tongue tie versus Evander Holyfield. So this is huge. This is something that you don't want to miss. And when I look at it, Errol Spence Jr. can afford a loss. He can afford it. But can Terence Crawford afford it with everything that's on the line of potentially being a 2-time undisputed champion in 2 different weight classes, beating the best welterweight in the sport of boxing, And in my opinion, in Errol Spence Jr., this is your chance to do something that nobody else has done. And he's under the most pressure to succeed. He needs to win more than Errol Spence. But that's my answer on that. And that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Terrace, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.